Students, in this class we'll see how to get your FSM from the given regular expression. Conversion of regular expression to FSM. Right, you know what is FSM? Finite state machine. Now for this we have Kleen's theorem. And you know the definition of regular expression. Phi is the regular expression for empty language. Phi is the regular expression for empty language. So I have a start state. I have a final state. Right? Phi is the regular expression for empty language. Right? And epsilon is also a regular expression for empty string. Empty string. So how to represent it? Q0 start state. QF is your final state. It is empty string. Right? You know about this epsilon. It is not taking any input. Nothing is there. Empty string. But there is a transition from your start state to final state. And next A is the regular expression. All these are according to your regular expression definitions. What are these things? What am I doing now? I am having a regular expression. I am getting my corresponding FSM. From FSM to, from RE to FSM. Building FSM from RE. You have your regular expressions. What are the corresponding FSMs? Right? And next is case 1. My regular expression R is R1 plus R2. R1 is regular expression corresponding to LR1, the language LR1, and this regular expression corresponds to language LR2. Right? So in this case, what is the corresponding FSM? Right? You can keep these as the basic formulas and you can answer your questions. You have to remember this Kleen's theorem. Keep this as the basic formula and you have to answer your questions. Right? So if you have any regular expression with plus operator, what could be the corresponding FSM? Right? So I have my start state. Right? I have my final state. What you have to do is, like, before your final state, you have to add one epsilon, and after your start state also, you have to add one epsilon transition. I'll tell you, after start state and epsilon transition, and before final state, you have to add epsilon transitions. And since it is plus, right, R1 plus R2, R1 or R2. Since it is plus, it represents R, and so you have to take two branches. Right? So I take two branches. As I said, after start state, I have to add an epsilon. Right? And this is my machine 1. Right? This machine, it has a start state and it has a final state. And right, machine 1. Right? This is machine 2. And I said before your final state also you have to include an epsilon. Right? So Q1 and write as Q2 F2. Right? R1 plus R2. Right? So I have to take a branch. I have taken branches. Right? After your start state, include an epsilon. Before your final state, you have to include an epsilon. And this is for which language? LR1. Right? This is for which language? LR2. Right? This is how you have to remember these formulas. Next, case 2. Case 2, R is equal to R1 dot operator. Right, R is equal to R1 dot R2. So here, write the first machine. R1, you know, it corresponds to language LR1. Right, I'll write your machine. Machine 1, I have a start state. I'll be having a final state. Right, then my dot operator. Machine 2, sorry, it is start state, right? Q2, F2. Right, otherwise you can write as only F2. Here I will be having an epsilon transition. This belongs to language R1. This belongs to language R2. Right, so what does it mean? Whenever you see a dot operator in your regular expression, how to convert this dot operator to your FSM? This is how. Right, what are we learning? I will be having an FSM, I have to obtain the corresponding. I will be having a regular expression, I have to obtain the corresponding FSM. So whenever you see a dot operator in your regular expression, this is how you have to represent in your FSM. Right? Next, the third case. Third case is star. Case 3. Case 3, R is equal to R star. See, as I said, right, you have to remember, after start state I have to include an epsilon, and before your final state also you have to include an epsilon. Right? So how to write this formula? Q0 is your start state. Assume this is your final state. Right? So after your start state I include an epsilon. Now I am going to write my machine. Right, machine 1, right, Q1 and my final state. Right, and before your final state you have to include an epsilon, and you know this star operator, meaning of this star operator, it takes null or more occurrence. Null or more occurrence. So A star means I can have null or a single A, 2A, 3A, more occurrence of A is possible. I can have null or single occurrence of A, 2 occurrence of A, 3 occurrence of A, and it goes on. More occurrence of A is possible. Right? So I need this null. So how will I represent this null? From start state directly move to your final state if you want null. Right, from start state directly move to your final state if you want null. Right, otherwise, if you want to generate any symbols, if you want more occurrence of your symbol, this machine starts working. This machine starts working. As I said, if it is A star, it can generate more occurrence of A. Suppose if I want 3 occurrence of A, 3 times this machine has to work from start state. When it reaches the final state, first A will be generated. Again it has to come back to the start state, generate the next occurrence of A. Right? So in the second iteration, the second A will be generated. Right? Again from final state, it has to come to your start state to generate the next A. Right? So every time in one iteration, only one symbol will be generated. Right? So if I want more occurrence, again I have to come to my start state, start generating. Right? So from final state, how will I come to the start state? With epsilon move. With epsilon move, I will come to start state. Machine works, it generates the next symbol. Again, if you want one more time, from final state, come to start state with epsilon move and start generating. Right? So this is the formula for star. So in your regular expression, if you see this star, how to write your FSM? This is how you are supposed to write your FSM. This start state is the start state of your complete machine. Right? So after start state you include an epsilon, before final state you include an epsilon. Now for this null, this one, directly from start to final, and if you want more occurrence, you come to this machine, start generating. So you have to remember your formula. This is your formula. Right? So in the next video we can discuss a sum, how to convert regular expression to FSM.